Barry Helton now, his 6th punt, 12th punt of the game. Dave Meggett back at the 20. Wobbly, end over end liner. Meggett at the 23. And Meggett brings it back to the 43, a 20-yard run back. Johnny Jackson makes the tackle. Giants will start this drive from near midfield. 4:34 left in the 3rd.
Down at Pizza Hut, you can now get one of our exclusive medium feast pizzas for 2 for just $6.79. Choose either our meat feast pizza with 4 different kinds of meat, or our cheese feast pizza with our special blend of 3 cheeses piled high with any 2 toppings of your choice.
Here you are.
Whichever one you choose, it's good to know that the only thing we've reduced is the bill. Great feast pizzas for $6.79. At Pizza Hut, you've got it made.
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild. It's in your record shops now.
Mirage or taboo? Which one are you?
So Harry said the momentum had gone the 49ers' way. This is a chance for the Giants to get back into it. Good field position. Let's get back to the field.
Then, a week from tonight, Raiders. Lions. Monday Night Football. First down, New York, 43-yard line. Haley is back in the game. Here's a little flea flicker. And Phil Simms has Ingram open, and he makes the catch at the 35-yard line. Covered by Pollard. First down, New York.
Well-designed play. There was a deep man, Baker, that could have got the 6 when he was covered well by the 49ers. Phil was able to check off and get it to Ingram. There's the handoff. Goes to Anderson. He flips it back. He looks first to Baker. He's covered. Comes across the field and finds Ingram.
First and 10, 35. 4:12 remaining, 3rd quarter. San Francisco leads by 4. Simms protected well. Too high. Dave Waymer almost intercepts it. Intended for Bavaro.
And Ronnie Lott almost kills Mark Bavaro. Waymer still down on the field. You can see him clutching his leg. Mark Bavaro pays a huge price for this overthrown Phil Simms pass. A huge price. Watch Ronnie Lott. Bang! There is not much worse in this game than going down the middle, having the ball overthrown, and you are hung out to dry, and few people take you to the laundromat like Ronnie Lott. Meanwhile, Waymer is coming off the field shaken up.
How many guys in the league, Dan, can you think of who would get up as fast as Bavaro did from this?
And he'll be back over the middle tonight. Perhaps looking for Ronnie Lott. How many players, Al, would get up at all?
You're right. Tonight, anyway.
Not a question of timing. Ronnie Lott again sets the tone for this entire team.
2nd and 10. Waymer out. John Jackson is in to spell him. Simms fires, batted away at the 25 by the aforementioned Johnny Jackson. So Sims picks on the one spot that's vacated when Waymer goes out, and Jackson is equal to the task.
Again, another good look at perfect timing by a defensive back, being able to get in front of the receiver and get a hand on the football. We saw Perry Williams doing it earlier for the Giants. This time it was Johnny Jackson's turn.
3rd and 10 at the 35.
Here comes Haley.
Knocked out. Loose ball. 3 red shirts are surrounding it.
I think Charles Haley is the guy out that knocked the ball out. That's a good bet with the 49ers.
Dennis Brown is at the bottom of that pile too. 49er football.
They brought them all on 3rd and long. I think Brown got there at the same time Haley did. I saw Haley's right hand go in. The defensive line again for San Francisco asserts itself. They are dominating right now. There's Haley at the bottom working against Riesenberg. Here comes Brown from the inside. They get there at the same time. The ball comes loose. The pocket collapses all the way around Phil Simms. Again, it was the numbers game. The Giants having 5 men in this pattern. And you can see Cox coming up, taking up a blocker that perhaps would have moved to the outside, and they just did not number upright.
And believe it or not, 43 Waymer is the guy who came out of that pile with the football at the end. Carter turns it up for 6. Stopped by Pepper Johnson at the 47-yard line.
I don't want to make more out of it than what it really was, because it's an intangible. It's impossible to say. But how many times have you seen a hit by Ronnie Lott ignite the San Francisco 49er team? I mean the entire team. Ronnie Lott puts the kiss on Mark Bavaro, and look what happens. Look at the way everybody seems to shift gears, pick it up a level or two, and they get the turnover.
We've seen it a lot.
We've seen it too much to just be a coincidence.
Over 10 years.
Yeah.
Al touched on it earlier. He's on his way to Canton, Ohio. No question about that.
2nd and 5. And it's a low pass and caught by Taylor at the 50. Gain of 4, 3rd and 1. Mark Collins, who's been spending most of his night covering Rice, covers Taylor on this one.
He occasionally is getting help deep in the hole and also in double coverage, but most of the time Mark Collins is on an island out there with either Taylor or Rice. Well, quite a tribute to Mark Collins that the Giants' defensive scheme of things will allow him to do that.
Frank, you mentioned Jerry Rice, and I just hear tick, tick.
Absolutely, it'll happen.
Tick.
Yep.
3rd and 1 at the 50. 2:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Sidney and Rathman are the running backs. They need a yard, and Sidney gets that yard, and 9 more to the 40 behind a Rathman block. 1st down.
And that shows a lot of confidence. That's a risky call on 3rd and real short yardage. Ordinarily, you would expect them to take it up the middle. Even a quarterback sneak, as Montana so often does. The one play where you can get hurt and take the loss is the sweep.
The other guy who kicked in on that play was Guy McIntyre, who got all the way around the corner from his left guard spot. The 49er guards run very, very well. McIntyre, who's been doing it for a long time. Barton, the converted tackle, who's just getting into it.
A minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter, 7-3 49ers. 1st down, Carter to the 35-yard line. Pepper Johnson makes the tackle. So Carter playing in place of the slightly hurt Roger Craig, who could come back into the game at any time. Picks up 5.
Talked to coaches of the 49ers, George Seifert, last night. We asked him about the running game or the lack of it. He said, well, look, the last couple of years our running game did not come around until late in the season. We're not terribly concerned about it.
That average below the league average, but above their season average, 3.6 per carry. Carter on 2nd down, hit by Taylor, picks up 1, takes it to the 34. It will be 3rd down and a long 3 coming up on what might be the final play of the period.
Good play by LT, who fights off a block. He's coming up to the outside, fights off the block of Jamie Williams, knifes back to the inside, and boy, Carter saw that one coming. And it's a play that Lawrence Taylor had to make. If Lawrence doesn't make that play, that might have been a 7-yard gain at the very least, and maybe more. Big hole in the middle.
Still 15 seconds remaining, but the Niners don't have to run a play and elect not to. They'll let the quarter expire. It's a scoreless third quarter in San Francisco. Fourth period upcoming, 7-3 Niners. Back we come after this word from our ABC station.
Make yourself comfortable on the veranda, Auntie.
Comfortable?
Cake, Auntie?
Didn't think you'd run to that sort of thing out here.
Try this, Auntie. There you are.
I hope they're fresh.
I don't know why you put up with her. Well, you got to have something to keep the flies off your beer.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
Oh, 839 Chat Rap 900 100. Oh, 839 Chat Rap 900 100.
Casserole. Ooh, yesterday's. But just watch Fairy shift that grease.
Now you see it. Now you don't.
I used to wake each morning, really go to town. Here and there, different smells, I really shopped around. Now I use Insignia, shampoo to shower gel, deodorant and aftershave with one all over smell. Now there's Insignia, and it's all over now.
45 pretty even minutes. And the score reflection, 7-3, pretty conservative basically. What's going to happen in the next 15 minutes?
Dan touched on something. Jerry Rice, tick, 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 tick.
You wonder. We'll see.
Well, right now, the way the Giants have been moving the ball, if the 49ers score again, I mean, I haven't seen enough life from New York offensively to play a lot of good comeback football here in the fourth quarter.
And that was a 3rd and 4 play, and Roger Craig dropped it. Roger Craig back in the game after being shaken up earlier in the half. And there are the numbers through the first 45 minutes of play.
Really subpar total yard numbers for both teams. This has not been a pretty picture for either club offensively, although I think the biggest reason for the Giants not moving the ball is the fact that they are being dominated up front by the 49ers.
49ers will punt. If they had chosen a field goal attempt, it's 52 yards, and you don't do that in this kind of a game. Leading by 4. They put it in Hilton's hands. He'll angle it for the far side. It's his 7th punt of the night, but he punts it into the end zone and through, and that will come the Giants to the 20. And Hilton, who has the worst average in the league, trots to the sidelines, and the crowd lets him know it.
We are not watching a punting clinic tonight.
Take a good look at that face. It may be the last time you see it. Harry, the commentators brought up Rice and that he's a time bomb ready to go off, but you're seeing something else, aren't you, on the 49ers offense?
Well, I agree with the commentators. Rice has been held in check so far, but the thing that I've noticed is that the offensive line has really turned it up a notch. They're coming off the ball, they're driving the Giants back, and the running backs, especially Dexter Carter, has been able to run the ball not very effectively, but enough to keep the Giants kind of off balance.
And then defensively, the 49ers O-line, defensive line, I should say, is also dominating, and they're making things happen on defense.
Well, they're making a lot of things happen, especially up front. They're putting a lot of pressure on Phil Simms. This play could have been avoided if Phil had just tucked the ball in like quarterbacks are supposed to. You cannot hold the ball out like you're holding a loaf of bread and expect to hold on to the ball. defensive linemen are taught to swipe at the ball and create turnovers. As a result, they got a good turnover right there in good field position. They just did not capitalize on that play.
In a game like this, like you're saying, they didn't capitalize. They really need to capitalize, don't they? They're only 4 points up.
You don't get but so many opportunities to capitalize and score points, and when you get them, you better take advantage of them.
All right, well, let's get back to the stick, and let's see if the Giants can take advantage of the inadequacies of the 49ers.
Giants have it at their own 20, 1st and 10.
I talked earlier about the 49ers doing some last-minute substitution. This is when they've done it to the Giants before, when they broke their huddle. Our director, Craig Janoff, is giving us a look from the sidelines. Looks like they're going to go ahead and go with the personnel they put out there.
I think that's something you do once, and then you file it.
Including Kugler, Burt, and Fagan. First down from the 20. Sims keeping it. And Phil picks up the first down with a nimble little move out to the 31-yard line, a gain of 11. First down, New York at the 31. Giants, by the way, have not scored a touchdown in the second half in each of their last 2 games. Blanked against Detroit 2 weeks ago, even though they won the game 20-0 and held scoreless last week in the second half at Philadelphia. And they have not scored in the second half tonight. First down, 31-yard line. Sims over the middle, Bavaro. He takes another pop, but holds on at the 44-yard line. Romanowski and his good buddy Ronnie Lott were right there.
Not say that Bavaro would be back across the middle. Total concentration. A quiet one and a very tough one. Here he is, watch 89, top of your screen. Never takes his eyes off the football until he puts it in, knowing full well he's going to get crunched. One tough football player, Mark Bavaro.
14-yard gain, back-to-back first downs for the Giants at the 45-yard line. The toss is to Anderson. Nothing shaking on the right side. Haley comes in to stop it after a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Haley will play from the up position or the down position. We've seen him play superb football tonight from both positions. He is the best pass rushing 49er, and he's not bad against the run.
Well, the key in that situation is you don't give ground. It's so easy that when you play off a block that you just give a little ground. That's how you get off the block. If you'll notice, Charles Haley played that block moving upfield. He was gaining ground.
On 2nd and 9, Sims buys some time, throws. Bavaro makes the catch. They swing him out of bounds at the 49 of San Francisco. Romanowski gets credit for the tackle, and that's going to set up a key 3rd and 3 with 12:44 to go, 4th quarter.
And you just keep going to a Mark Bavaro if you're going to try and cover him with the linebacker. He is not the 100% Mark Bavaro that he was before the knee injury a year ago, but he is still good at getting free from the line of scrimmage, very strong. He'll fight through a linebacker and get himself open if you try to cover him with a linebacker.
3rd and 3, Baker and Ingram both flank to the left off the quick count. It's a conservative 3rd and 3 call, and there's no room at all over the left side. And the Giants are stopped. Pierce Holt making the tackle on Otis Anderson, and here comes Landetta to the chagrin of Parcells.
Giants tried to rush that play to take advantage of the 49ers not getting set in their defense, and I think it hurt them more than it did the 49ers. It obviously did.
Well, watch how poorly the Giants get off on the ball. That's one of the risks of a quick count. You're trying to outthink the defense, but sometimes you put your own guys behind the 8 ball a bit.
Landetta, like Helton, punting for the 7th time. Taylor thinks about calling the fair catch, doesn't, and the Giants get a most fortuitous bounce.
Sean just got off Bill Parcells' hook.
Well, no, but you want to know the truth. That's the right play by John Taylor. You don't field the ball inside your own 10-yard line. I mean, that is just a very fortunate bounce for the New York Giants. John Taylor did exactly the right thing by not fielding the ball. Just the ball didn't do exactly the right thing as far as John Taylor was concerned.
Down at Pizza Hut, you can now get one of our exclusive medium feast pizzas for two for just $6.79. Choose either our meat feast pizza with 4 different kinds of meat or our cheese feast pizza with our special blend of 3 cheeses piled high with any 2 toppings of your choice.
Here you are.
Whichever one you choose, it's good to know that the only thing we've reduced is the bill. Great feast pizzas for $6.79. At Pizza Hut, you've got it made.
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild. It's in your record shops now.
Drambuie is arguably the world's most delicious liqueur. But it does have one rival. The fact is, you can enjoy Drambuie all over the world, except in Tibet, where the locals just can't resist the seductive charms of fermented yak's milk. That's not a yak.
Drambuie. Today the world, tomorrow Tibet.
Tonight, on behalf of NFL Charities, 49ers owner Ed DeBartolo Jr. and Giants president of Wellington Mara announced an NFL Charities grant to the United Negro College Fund, making that commitment well over $500,000.
49ers on first down from the 2, and it's the tight end Brent Jones who gets them out of the shadow of the goalpost out to the 20-yard line on a play in which Carl Banks is in the game for the Giants. So Banks, after that broken wrist, has come back, and it's Jones taking the pass over the middle. So there is Banks with a nice clean 58.
And the very big cast still on his left wrist. He had pins inserted in that, and the pins were removed a couple of weeks ago, and Carl Banks now back.
17-yard gain. Big completion to Jones from the 19-yard line. Here's Dexter Carter. He slips down back at the 15 on the soft divoted turf. Banks and Washington.
Well, if he didn't slip, it was going to be Banks in on that tackle.
Boy, that's got to feel good to Carl Banks. Got a good shot, got upfield, got in on a tackle, and all of a sudden, all the doubts, all the cobwebs, they all start to get pushed aside. And all of a sudden, after being hurt, you're on the outside looking in, and now all of a sudden, you're one of the boys again. You're right back in it. Let me have a dirty jersey, just like everybody else.
2nd and 13 at the 16-yard line. Harry Sidney is in the backfield behind Montana. He goes into the pattern. Pass is caught by Jones, and the tight end is taken out of bounds up at the 23-yard line. And the next play will be a 3rd and 6 with 10:06 left.
You know, a lot is said about Mark Bavaro and his abilities as a tight end, but the most dominant tight end in this football game is Brent Jones. Brent Jones came into this game with 42 receptions, and he has very quietly developed into one of the fine tight ends in the game of football. A good blocker, a very agile receiver, and a guy with gifted hands.
And you can do that on a team with Rice and a Taylor who draw the double coverage. You usually will be covered by a linebacker.
Jones has caught 3 balls tonight for 31 yards. 49ers have to get to the 29 to keep the drive going, and open and dropping it is Jones. Sure enough, extol his virtues. He drops one.
Oh, and a critical one it was for the Niners on the 3rd and long. He had the first down yardage, and George Seifert
it's also a pass that was thrown back behind him a little bit.
Oh, one you catch.
Oh, one you have to catch. Oh, clearly one you have to catch, but if you look at it, ooh.
Ooh, I can't catch it too, Brent.
Okay, Brent, that's it for you, baby.
Well, here's the star of the show along with Landetta. It's Barry Helton. This is the 15th punt of the game.
Oh, goody.
Helton's make it back to
great television.
Fair catch. Dave makes it at the 35-yard line, and the Giants will begin their drive from the 35. 42-yard boot, 9:31 remaining in regulation.
I used to wake each morning, really go to town. Here and there, different smells, I really shopped around. Now I use Insignia, shampoo to shower gel, deodorant and aftershave with one all over smell. Now there's Insignia, and it's all over now.
Make yourself comfortable on the veranda, Auntie.
Comfortable.
Cake, Auntie?
Didn't think you'd run to that sort of thing out here.
Try this, Auntie. There you are.
I hope they're fresh.
I don't know why you put up with her.
Well, you got to have something to keep the flies off your beer.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
The new Filler Shave. Improved shaving performance. Wider slots lift and cut for our best shaving performance ever. With personal minutes left indicator. The new Filler Shave. The pursuit of excellence.
Opening day of '88, it's amazing. The Giants are 1-7 against Philadelphia and San Francisco, 31-4 against the other teams.
You think they're for realignment of the division?
Yeah.
Get Buddy out of my hair.
First down from the 35. New York down by 4. Sims airing it out, and it's incomplete. Good coverage on the play, intended for Ingram, and it's Darryl Pollard right there with him. Second down.
Well, this is one where Sims needed an alternate receiver. Pollard in perfect position all the way, watching the ball come in. We're lucky this did not turn into a turnover.
That's a type of coverage by Pollard that really the only way that would have ended up being a completion is if it would have been an underthrown pass and Ingram could have reacted back to it. Just beautiful coverage by Darryl Pollard.
Second and 10 from the 35-yard line. Here's Rodney Hampton, who gets taken down by a quartet of 49ers led by Pete Kugler after a gain of 1 on an odd call. 3rd and 9. Crowd tonight, by the way, 66,092. It's a 49er record. It's the most bodies to ever perch in Candlestick Park, period. Baseball, football, you name it.
Did they say this game was covered by more of the media than any other event? Is taking place here?
Mini Super Bowl. 3rd and 9. New York at the 36. 8:45 remaining in regulation. Sims, a big 3rd down completion to the 49-yard line to Lionel Manuel. Tackled by Ronnie Lott.
And look at Ronnie Lott. Look at Darryl Pollard. I don't know if Pollard was the guy who missed coverage, but Ronnie Lott got up and just glared at Pollard.
A little crossing pattern. You'll see it at the top. Ingram going through and Manuel coming underneath.
Really a well-run pattern by the Giants. Pollard with that break to the underside really is in no position to get back on top of the receiver.
Yeah, it was not a pick or anything. He should have been closer.
Yeah.
1st and 10, 49-yard line. Sims gets taken down at the 42, picked up though by Anderson, and he turns what would have been a disastrous play into a huge break.
We're gonna have to put a couple of these into the playbook. They've been the big plays for the Giants tonight.
Kevin Fagan had Sims, extracted it, and Anderson is there to exploit it. First down, Giants at the 31.
That's twice tonight Anderson has made big plays on a Sims fumble after being hit.
Twice is right. You will not see the ball bounce as favorably very often as it is bouncing for the New York Giants tonight. Charles Haley sacks Sims. It comes out. That time it was Fagan. And both times number 24 is there to get their old bacon out of the fire.
And he picks up 4 yards here to the 27-yard line. Haley in on the tackle on a more conventional carry this time for Anderson. He sets up a 2nd and 6.
And Ronnie Lott looks like he's limping. I mean, this is just as good a break as a team can get. Anderson is up there picking up a blitz. He's not looking at anything, and here comes the ball to him on one hop.
And Lott is coming out of the game. He hobbles off. There is Ronnie on the sidelines. Johnny Jackson comes in to the secondary.
Keep in mind the Giants down by 4. G won't get it done.
2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line. Sims over the middle. It's Cross who gets pushed back after reaching the 20. That's enough for a 1st down. Waymer makes the tackle. Clock ticks down to 6:25.
Boy, and how quickly things are beginning to look up for the New York Giants. I mean, just look what's happened in the last couple of plays. They get a big break with Otis Anderson picking up the fumble. Phil Sims here completes this to Howard Cross. Ronnie Lott has had to check out of the game with an injury. I mean, here are the Giants facing really as bad a situation as you could be looking at, trailing and losing the ball in their own end of the field, and all of a sudden they're down at the 49er 20.
Under 6 minutes left in regulation. Sims asks the umpire to take a look at the football.
You can see Bart Oates gesturing wildly, and there's something about the football. It must have.
Sometimes it gets damp, it gets on a chalk mark, and it adheres to the ball, and you don't want that either for snapping or should you be trying to pass the football. Either that or Bart wanted to get a breath.
Well, they gave him a new football.
And the Giants bring in their control man, Otis Anderson.
And the 49ers bring back Ronnie Lott. He's back in the game. Well, there is Lott ready for action again. We're still waiting for play to resume.
And Phil Sims has just changed the play that he called in the huddle at the line of scrimmage.
I think Hamer wants the clock reset is what the problem is here. Yeah. It's back to 5:49.
And the Giants now with the time restored to the 25-second clock will go back into the huddle.
Yep. After a stoppage of the game clock, the clock gets reset. There it is on the left at 25. If it was a regular play, as soon as the play ends, it always goes back to 45. But 25 anytime they stop the game clock.
Giants change offensive sets.
1st down at the 20. Sims dumps it off to Carthen, who is wide open, and Maurice Carthen goes to the 11-yard line, tackled by Millen. 2nd and short upcoming.
You wonder why he is so open? Well, Carthen has only caught 13 passes. That was his 13th. He is a leader, as Dan spoke of earlier, of this Giants team, a tremendous blocker, and the guy you want in there when it gets going tough, because nobody's going to quit on him. He'll put his helmet right in your face.
2nd and a yard and a half at the 11. Anderson fights his way for what I think is a 1st down. Waymer makes the tackle, and it is 1st and goal, New York from inside the 10.
And at 1st and goal, you think back to the situation in the 1st half where the Giants struggled to get it in running, came up short. You would think that Bill Parcells on the right has got to be thinking, I've got to put this up in the air. This game is on the line, perhaps right here.
4:20 remaining in regulation. Again, the Giants haven't scored in the 2nd half against Detroit, against Philadelphia, or here tonight. Sims is pressured and throws it away. Sims was under heavy heat from Michael Carter. Nobody picks Carter up. Sims says, who's supposed to block that guy? 2nd and goal.
Al, that's exactly what he was saying.
Well, Bart Oates tried. A great move to the outside by Michael Carter, former shot putter from SMU. Look at the move he puts on Bart Oates there.
Oh,
that's
did he ever.
Tremendous agility for a man who goes close to 300 pounds.
Silver medalist, wasn't he?
Yeah, sure was.
2nd and goal, New York. At the 9, 4:08 remaining. Fourth quarter, 7-3, 49ers. Sims, too deep, intended for Ingram in the corner, covered by Don Griffin. 3rd and goal.
And covered well.
Well, we have seen some secondary play tonight, haven't we? I mean, on the part of both clubs. I mean, got Pollard and Griffin and Collins and Perry Williams. I mean, we have seen sensational work in the secondary.
You saw both corners of the 49ers on that one shot. Darryl Pollard covering underneath Baker, and Griffin with the coverage in the end zone.
3rd and goal. Baker to the left, Ingram to the right. And Sims over the middle, knocked away. Ronnie Lott knocked it away. And a very big decision now for Parcells. Intended for Bavaro. Parcells is down by 4. If you kick a field goal, you still have 3:59, and you're then within a field goal of winning the game. Where do you go for it?
Well, the decision's been made. They are going to go for it. They bring in 3 wide receivers. The guy you would expect with the best moves down in this area is one Lionel Manuel, as we look once again at the play by Ronnie Lott.
Well, what you were looking at right there was a touchdown to Mark Bavaro if Ronnie Lott doesn't touch the football.
4th and goal from the gun. Sims fires, batted away. Darryl Pollard. What a night for the 49ers secondary.
Sims tried to get it to Manuel. Great play by Pollard. And we have, we'll say it again, we have seen some superb play by both secondaries. This game still not over. The decision on the part of Parcells, part of that decision was, well, we'll leave him inside the 10, and we'll have to play defense now.
1st and goal at the 9, went to out of downs at the 9. 4 incompletions.
I think this decision is going to be talked about for a while, because I mean, you're down 7-3. There are 4 minutes left in this ball game. 3:55. A lot of people, and maybe rightly so, you make it 7-6.
Yep.
You give them the football. You got a darn good defense, and you're in the ball game.
Well, I don't think Sims and Lott were talking about where they're going to eat dinner after the match. This game was turning around. That was a huge decision and a huge play there, wasn't it, for the Giants?
It really was, and I think I have to stand behind Bill Parcells. If you're down within 9 yards of the goal line, go for it. You know, a field goal is not really going to help you at that point. You need 4 points to tie the score, and you want to win the ball game. So a field goal is really of no importance there.
So far in this game, despite the score and losing by 4 points, the ball has rolled the Giants' way, and that whole drive was set up by a fumble by Sims and Otis Anderson once again picking it up.
Again, I have to say, Otis Anderson's in the right place at the right time. It's just, like I said before, the ball bounces in very funny ways, and he made the most of that play.
But despite it running the Giants' way, the defense of the 49ers is coming through with big plays.
Well, both defenses are playing excellent football. Not just the front line, but also the secondary. The 49ers secondary is playing an excellent ball game. I've been really impressed this evening with the play of the 49ers defense, with their rush defense and also secondary.
We just saw a good headbutt there by Ronnie Lott. He really has been a significant factor in this game. I'm sure he will continue to be. But the big question now is, can the defense of the Giants take it to the 49ers offense?
On that drive, the Giants 56 yards in the first 8 plays, and then 4 straight incompletions.
Well, in 4th and goal at the 9 with 4 minutes left, you had a chance to make it a 1-point ball game. I think Bill Parcells is going to be second-guessed a great deal about his decision to go ahead and go for the touchdown. 4 minutes is a long, long time in this league.
Carter picks up 7. Absolutely. If you kick the field goal at 7-6, you have 4 minutes, you have 3 timeouts, and a 2-minute warning. You got a lot of time to get the ball back.
I think he could care less about being second-guessed on it. I think he might second-guess himself, but I know he factored in the thought that my defense has been playing well. If we can hold him to a punt, they've got a lousy punter, and that's, at least we've seen that tonight.
Frank,
And we'll get the ball back in midfield, and we'll try and get in and get the 7.
I think you kick the field goal and make it a one-point game. I think it's a no-brainer.
I kick the field goal. Here's Carter, and this kid's having a pretty good night here. Remember spelling Craig, who was slightly shaken up. Dexter Carter, the rookie, the #1 draft choice out of Florida State, who's kind of been slow in developing, had fumbleitis earlier this season, a return type of guy, and a third down specialist and all that, and he's carried 9 times for 28 yards. And he's picked up a first down here, a big one.
And this is what Bill Parcells did not want to see. The 49ers moving it for a first down.
Clock keeps rolling, 2:50. Remember, the Giants can stop the clock 3 times plus the 2-minute warning.
And the Giants need a touchdown to take the lead if they get the ball back.
Here's Dexter Carter again out to the 21-yard line, and the Giants have to start thinking about those timeouts, and they do, and there's a little scuffle that breaks out. Taylor winds up with the ball, but play is long gone. Timeout, New York, 2:33. That much time left in regulation. 7-3, San Francisco.
See Bill Parcells on the sideline. Dan Deardorff, former lineman in the league, is definitely
don't think very clearly.
He's questioning you. He's saying that Parcells pulled a no-brainer, and he should have gone for the field goal, been down by 1, and then had a chance to kick a field goal. You adamantly disagree, don't you?
No, I really do disagree, because you need not 3 points. You need a touchdown in that situation. And when you're down there, go for it. Go for it. I mean, 3 points really will be of no consequence to you.
You're a linebacker. Now, for a kicker, he goes out, pressure kick, makes the kick or misses it. Now, this for the linebacker is that last-second field goal, isn't it? You're standing back there. You have got to stop the run, but you've got to be looking for the tight end or someone coming over the middle for that short pass.
There's a lot of pressure on those defensive backs and also linebackers, because you know, the whole field is there for the quarterback. You have to work in sync as a whole defense. You got to get a good rush on the quarterback. You have to get that good zone coverage, and the 49ers did that.
They've got a 2nd down and long. What do you think Montana's going to do, and what does the defense have to do?
I think they're going to try and keep the ball on the ground right now.
Run down the clock?
Run down the clock. You know, it's kind of odd that Jerry Rice has not been a factor in this game, and, you know, the game isn't over yet, so maybe something's coming.
So Jerry Rice might be the one coming back into this game and making the big play. I think Harry's right, though. I think it's going to be on the ground that the 49ers are going to try and do it, and the pressure is on the linebackers of the Giants. Let's get back to the stick.
2:33 left in regulation. San Francisco ahead by 4. The Giants have 2 timeouts left, plus a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. And the 49ers have a 2nd down and 8 at the 21-yard line. One order of business here. If you didn't hear it today, Ray Perkins got fired as the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the rest of the season, assistant coach Richard Williamson takes over. That was after they won yesterday. There's Perkins, who Hugh Culverhouse said will be my coach for the rest of this season and beyond and beyond.
And, of course, the coach that Bill Parcells replaced to become head coach of the New York Giants when Perkins trotted off to Alabama.
2nd down, 8. 49ers at the 21. Inside handoff to Harry Sidney, who turns it back, picks up the first down, and the former school teacher, who was cut twice earlier in his career, was a big star in the USFL, was looking for a job, sent his resume to John McVay, has just made a huge play.
Well, he's been all over. He was cut by Seattle. He was cut by Cincinnati. He went up to play in the Canadian Football League, and the team folded up there, but he has really performed the last few weeks.
Well, he's not
this is just great effort.
He's not going to get cut by San Francisco anytime in the near future.
Knocks Carter down.
A tremendous effort that may just be a backbreaker for the New York Giants.
2-minute warning, first down, 49ers.
Drambuie is arguably the world's most delicious liqueur. But it does have one rival. The fact is, you can enjoy Drambuie all over the world, except in Tibet, where the locals just can't resist the seductive charms of fermented yak's milk. That's not a yak.
Drambuie. Today the world, tomorrow Tibet.
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild. It's in your record shops now.
Harry, 2 minutes left in the game. A big play by Harry Sidney there. What have they got to do now?
Well, number one, they've got to stop. Got to stop the rush, and that's all the 49ers are going to do: run the ball.
All right. Well, we're not going to see Rice. We're going to see the run. Let's get back to Candlestick.
Program reminder: you've already seen our competition, Murphy Brown, behind the scenes. Well, next Thursday on Primetime Live, we'll get a little action. You'll see us on Monday Night Football behind the scenes.
And then on Sunday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Bud Light Ironman Triathlon World Championship Special Edition. Times reflected on the panel there, and World Cup Gymnastics. 2 minutes remaining. 7-3 San Francisco at the 32-yard line. Montana hands the ball to Dexter Carter, and Carter takes it out to the 35. Now the Giants are going to have to spend their timeouts, and there's the first. What it amounts to now is if the 49ers can pick up a first down, it will be over. The Niners will have the best record in the conference. The Bears and the Giants will both be 10-2. And we mentioned earlier, if the season ended tomorrow, the Giants would have a record that would put them into a first-round playoff game against the number 3 wild card. It would be Green Bay. The Bears would have the weekend off, January 5th and 6th, and so would the 49ers. That's how important this game is tonight.
And for the 49ers, probably helping to secure home field advantage. And we think back to the 49er playoff games against the Giants after the 1985 season when they lost 17-3 after 86. They lost 49-3 playing in the cold Meadowlands of January, so they will be delighted if it doesn't eventuate that they have got to go to the Meadowlands, and they look like they will not.
If you're wondering what the tiebreaker is between the Giants and the Bears, it's best conference record since they've not met head-to-head. And the Bears would have the better conference record. 2nd and 6. And Dexter Carter gets shoved back.
Rejected, I think, is a
yes,
good way of describing what happened to Dexter Carter. A rookie carrying the ball twice in a row now under what are very critical circumstances. You can't have a fumble or a loose football here, and the 49ers showing a lot of confidence in Dexter Carter.
You've been in those huddles, though, Dan. You know what everyone is saying. Hold on to the football.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been in a lot of huddles where people said hold on to the football, and then somebody dropped the football. I found out the words aren't much in the way of glue.
That at least gets your attention, doesn't it?
No, it sure does. Great, a great job as always by Craig Janoff, our director, Kenny Wolf, our producer, and the best guys in the business, our camera and tape guys. Great look tonight, fellas. To blitz or not to blitz? That is the question Mr. Belichick and Mr. Parcells are talking about right now.
One of the most disruptive things you can do even against the run is the blitz, and it is a good way to cause a turnover.
Now, if you're Joe Montana, do you put the ball in the air?
Have no more timeouts. 0.
Okay, the Giants took their last timeout. The scoreboard showed 1. Momentary confusion. They took their last timeout. They have none. 1:48 to go. 3rd down, 11. From the 31-yard line. And they're going to keep it on the ground. A flag goes down. I think Carter has the first down. He gets up, both guns blazing, and then he sees the flag.
But when the umpire throws that flag, you can pretty well guess what it's going to be. And I can't recall a holding penalty this whole game.
Holding, number 61 of the offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
Jesse Sapolu, and that's as animated as you'll ever see George Seifert.
Well, I think he cannot recall a holding penalty in this entire game.
I can't recall the flag being thrown. Sapolu, the center, a most critical error at this juncture.
Instead of a first down, it's 3rd down back at the 21. 3rd and 21.
And we have the 4 wide receivers for the 49ers, but you can bet that Joe Montana will be very conservative with what he does with the football.
And extremely conservative. Here's another flag. It's a big run for Sydney. It's not enough for a first down, but a marker is down. If nothing else, these 2 plays have taken 13 seconds off the clock. We have 1:35. Again, a hold.
Well,
Taylor says back him up.
Well, sometimes after you get one holding penalty, you think perhaps you can get away with the one on the next play.
Repeat 3rd down.
Well, this time they get Guy McIntyre, the left guard. San Francisco doing their best to make it exciting here at the end.
3rd down and 31.
3rd and 11 becomes 3rd and 21, which becomes 3rd and 31.
1:35 left. Again, the Giants nary a timeout. And Sydney again. And why not? Because at least the Niners can now take it right down to the nub before they punt it at the 10-yard line. The Giants just have to sit there and futilely watch that clock tick down to around the 40-second mark.
Well, there's still over 30 seconds left on the play clock, and that's how much time the 49ers have to squander here.
And meanwhile, Barry Helton, who is not one of the best kickers around, will be kicking from close to the goal line or the end zone, and a dangerous return man, Dave Meggett, who will probably take a pretty good chance at midfield for the Giants for the return.
This will be the 16th punt of the game. If you're wondering, is it a record? Not even close. In a thriller between the Bears and Packers in 1933, they had 31 punts. Meggett at his own 48. Takes it to the 44. That stops the clock. 36 seconds and no timeouts for New York.
Well, the yellow flag gives the New York Giants one last shot at it.
So the 49ers secondary so responsive tonight. Remember, the Niners came into the game #1 against the run, number 19 against the pass. But you'd never know it after tonight.
And number 42 drops deep. Somebody's going to have to get past Ronnie Lott to get to the end zone.
Out of the gun, 49ers rush 3 over the middle. This is Meggett. He's taken down at the 37. No timeouts. Clock still running.
Great hustle there by Pierce Holt. He caught Meggett from behind, a defensive tackle, defensive end.
2nd and 3. Again, a 3-man rush. It's Meggett again over the middle, and Meggett takes it down to the 26-yard line. But here are the Giants with maybe 1 play remaining. He's got to throw it into the ground here, and he does, to give them that 1 play they can set up for.
And he'll have to take it into the end zone.
I tell you, those are 2 kind of curious calls. Without a timeout, you're throwing the ball over the middle, needing a touchdown.
Well,
they're counting on his ability, like a scat back, to punt return, to break a tackle perhaps, and he's done a lot of that for them this year and get the big yardage.
You can't argue with their wanting to get the ball into the hands of their most explosive offensive player in Meggett, but in doing it twice in a row in the middle of the field, look what you have done to the clock.
Exactly.
Of course, I think it also points out something about the Giants, their lack of confidence in their wide receivers.
Last play of the game, barring a defensive penalty.
Well, this will draw a crowd.
And it ends on a sack by Fagan.
And the 49er defense, nothing short of excellent. They dominated this football game. They won this football game on a team where the offense gets all the glory and all the stories. Ronnie Lott and his boys won this football game.
Lott and his boys and Bill McPherson, the unheralded defensive coordinator, and they win it as well for the defensive secondary coach Ray Rhodes, who had his appendix removed, isn't here watching this one from the hospital.
You touched on Bill McPherson, but you better believe that George Seifert, the former defensive coordinator under Bill Walsh, has a major input to, once again, a super 49er defense.
And we gave you a look there at the end of Phil Simms and Ronnie Lott, what looked like exchanging words, and I don't mean congratulatory words.
And they had done that earlier, you'll recall, and they're probably saying, we'll see you guys in January. And they may. But the Chicago Bears are going to have a few things to say about that as well.
I'm sure the Chicago Bears, after watching this game, are sitting at home saying, and these are the two best teams in football?
And the Giants take the red-eye home, have a short week, and get to face as hot a team as there is in the league right now, the Minnesota Vikings. And there are Lott and Simms.
And they're not kissing and making up either.
Well, maybe just a start.
Yep.
Oh, not even close.
Scoreless second half. 7-3 is the final. 49ers win it. They're 11-1. Giants 10-2. Next week from Detroit, Raiders, Lions. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Beardo. Good night from San Francisco.
Well, a game full of surprises. I think, though, Harry, I've got to come at you. First, I saw a third down play. There was a penalty. The Giants took the penalty when the clock was stopped and sent them back to a 3rd down and 31, the 49ers, when they could have got the ball from the punt. That would have saved about 30 seconds. Then we saw Simms coming in, throw a ball downfield, down the middle. He then could have taken the snap, thrown it into the ground, stopped the clock again, then had a 2nd and 10. Instead, he threw another pass down the middle, and then, of course, it has to come back to the no-brainer. With the field goal, they would have been within field goal position. They could have won it by 2. Seems like the reason I see Simms so upset at Lott is because he's upset at himself and some of the decisions the Giants made today.
This is true, and Phil has to really be upset with himself. He made some bad decisions out on the football field. But, you know, in defense of the Giants taking the penalty on the 3rd down, I think their thinking behind that is, you know, San Francisco's backed up, kick the ball, make them punt the ball to Dave Meggett. Dave Meggett had been somewhat ineffective for most of the evening, and Meggett is the kind of guy that you really can't keep hemmed up all night. At some point, he's going to break along with, kind of like Jerry Rice. I think on both teams, their weapons were really neutralized. Rice, Craig, you know, John Taylor had one big catch. Other than that, you know, San Francisco didn't do anything. As far as the Giants are concerned, all of their weapons were neutralized.
But on that play, that 3rd down play, if they'd turned down the penalty, they'd have punted earlier to Meggett, and he would have had more time on the clock. Now, one As if I haven't picked on him enough. Yeah. The last play of the game, there's no time left on the clock. If you go down with the ball in your hands, nothing's going to happen. You've got to toss it up and hope that the football gods that we've seen happening today take care of business for you.
Well, the only thing that Simms could do is just throw the ball down the field into the end zone like a Hail Mary type pass. You cannot expect to run the ball or do anything, especially when time has expired like that.
So you're saying that's okay to do that? Or you say...
Well, he did it. I mean, he did it. I mean... What are you going to do?
Well, I'm very surprised at what's been happening in the game. I think there were a lot of bad decisions. I'm not sure who's in charge of that on the field, whether it's Parcells that was giving the message to Simms. Parcells. In England, we call him Parcells, as in parsley. Right now, it's time for a break, but we will be back after the